Welcome, true believers, to Badwolf Comics. I'm your host, the Bad Wolf, and today we have our end-of-year room tour for 2024. Stick around, folks, it should be fun.
Ho, 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 ho!
Welcome back, true believers, to another Bad Wolf Comics end-of-year room tour. Well, 2024 went by rather quickly, folks. We had a lot happen. I've got a lot of new books to show you. I've got a couple new canvases. I got some new stuff on the computer because we're going to start doing some streaming stuff. But we did have a Great Purge of 2024, which was even larger than the Great Purge of 2023. Some bills needed to get paid. Some room needed to be made on the shelves for new books. So you will see that the shelves are a little bit thinned out this year. The third-party shelf is bursting with books, but the DC shelf behind me and the Marvel shelves are a bit thinned out. So the way we do this is we're going to go ahead and start with kind of a collage of how Bad Wolf Comics started. You're going to see the very first book I bought, the very first shelf I started with, which is actually now the shelf just outside the studio. And we're going to kind of go through the evolution of Bad Wolf Comics and the different things we did with the backgrounds and such. And after that, we'll move right into the room tour, which will start out in the hallway as usual with the bookshelf out there. We'll move into the studio. We'll kind of go around and look at a lot of the artwork, things that have changed with the computer, and then we'll get into the books. But let's stop talking about it. Let's get what you came here to see. Don't go away. Outside the studio as usual. Here's our bookshelf just outside. And up here we have our Doctor Who Build-A-Bears for the 10th and 11th Doctor. I got my Snarf plushie up there. And our bottle of True Blood. If you know, you know. But yeah, here's where the real obsession starts, folks. I started watching Doctor Who back in the 80s. And I discovered they had these books few years ago, probably 10 years ago now. And it took me about a year or two to collect them all. Some of them I had to have me imported, but each book is like an episode of the show that never really aired. And so they're all self-contained. And they're really good. If you're a fan, I highly suggest the books. I really liked them. They had a couple of specials like the Time Lord Victorious there. 10 Days of Christmas. I actually haven't even read that one yet. There's a replica sonic screwdriver. And these are all the 11th Doctor books. Our 11th Doctor there. We come down into our 12th Doctor. And all the books that accompanied him. They kind of got less and less because the sales were, the Doctor Who had reached its peak and the popularity was going down. But we have our Firefly stuff. Added 2 more books to that this year. Those are also the same thing, just kind of each one's an episode of its own. But you can get all those off Amazon. I know it's not the ideal place to buy your books, but that's where I got them all. And down here we get the more serious titles, Bram Stoker's Dracula. More serious title, we got Paul Bunyan there. I got that in like 2nd grade, 3rd grade. We got it signed by Stephen Kellogg. And then this book here, we're not going to go into that. It's the first comic I ever made. I cannibalized a couple comics and wrote a story for a class project in junior high. But next we have our Game of Thrones books. There's the hardcovers, and then next to them is the illustrated editions you folks saw in the last haul. And then this will be the 50th anniversary of Lord of the Rings. It has all 3 books in it. It's a beautiful book. It's like a Bible. And then Gears of War. We get into things like Star Wars and gaming books and TV shows, stuff like that. So here's my Dead Space, my Highlander, Alan Wake, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Supernatural, all that good stuff. That's really what I read outside of comics. Alright, from there, let's go into the studio. As we walk in, we get one of my favorite covers of all time, the Andy Kubert Legion Quest cover, The Death of Xavier, just the prelude to the Age of Apocalypse. So I had to turn it into a canvas. And just below it, we have our Wolverine movie poster. I can't even remember what movie that was from. Wolverine Origins, maybe? Get in here. Let me just come in here and shut the door behind me. Studio. It's not exactly the biggest room, but it's the master bedroom in the house, and the more books I got, I finally pushed my stuff out and just turned it into the studio. As you see, the door we came in here. So we'll just start over here, just to kind of get all that out of the way. There's our TARDIS parking. I got that from my brother for my birthday. And here behind the door is our X-Men number 2, adjectiveless X-Men number 2 cover, because Jim Lee's my favorite artist, and that is just a phenomenal cover. I was really bummed about the black spots on there, and people keep asking, why'd you leave that? Well, because that's the way the image was, and I didn't have any kind of AI to take it out at the time, so. But that's where we come in, and then look here, we've got our Invincible canvas. And then we've got a recolor of a Extinction Agenda cover. And there's the restroom. Then we have our Last Ronin canvas. That came out really well. I almost used that as the cover for the Last Ronin book, but for those of you that saw the Last Ronin custom dust jacket, I really liked what we had there better, but this was a choice. This was an option. We're going to kind of go through the art and stuff first, and then I'll get to the bookshelves. And this is obviously a Doctor Who print that, again, my brother got me for a birthday. So I framed it. It looks great. I'm trying to get the 10th and 11th Doctor shot here on the covers of those books, but we're having trouble sourcing the images. And this was an anniversary print from Image Comics. I can't remember, like a 20th anniversary, something like that. Our Jim Lee homage, DC style. this obviously being a homage to this. But the very first canvas I got was this. This is the first one I had made. I have all my canvases made at easycanvasprints.com. It's really awesome. You literally just upload a photo and they do everything for you. It can get a little spendy on some of these bigger ones, but the standard poster size ones aren't that expensive. But yeah, those two images came together. So when I got that one, and then I saw this one, it was a no-brainer. I was like, that's the backdrop for my studio right there. And so that was the second one we did. Just love the mirror image of both. Then we get this shot here. I couldn't pass that one up. I always wanted that one on my wall. I tried to get one that didn't say X-Men on it, but I just like the natural shots better. But that was the best one I could find. We'll get past the boom mic here. And then we've got X-Men number 4. That's a recolor. And of course, McFarlane's Spider-Man with the black costume recolor. And I really liked how that one came out because the picture itself has a natural light coming down on him. So when I put the actual spotlight down, it just works. All right, let's get into some books. Are at the top of the shelf here. We'll start there and then go back around. There's our PlayStation custom omnibus. It's the anthology omnibus. It has stories from God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, Resistance, Horizon Zero Dawn, all sorts of stuff, and Legacy of Kain. So it's a one-of-a-kind book. Here we have our Marvel light box and 2 of the mugs. I always have the mugs on the table. This is the original logo. And then this year we started out with a Halloween logo. And then down here on the desk, we've got the Christmas logo mug. I got some shirts made up of this. Any of the shirts or anything like that, I do have those on a website called TeePublic. I only get a couple of bucks every sale, but if you're looking to get some of the logo on it, that's where. This is just a pile of books that I'm looking to offload. And then over here, we'll start the actual stuff on the shelves. And now we have What If Into the Multiverse, Volume 1 and 2. Volume 2 is still white because I just got it. But I am already talking to Roy about getting the custom dust jacket done on that. Marvel Zombies and Marvel Zombies Returns. And that white book there is Spider-Man Deadpool. Got Secret Wars. Alright, you can read all of those. We got Avengers. We got New Avengers, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy. Our Spider-Man Complete Black Costume Saga, that is also on the custom dust jacket list. We did have that Great Purge of 2024, but Ultimate Spider-Man did make the cut. Now that I have them all, I'm going to do a binge read on those. But yeah, you'll see the shelves are a lot more thinned out because of that purge. There's our Miles Morales. And I kept a lot of stuff that I still wanted to read or still had a lot of interest in. There's our Star Wars. I really stuck with the eras on that, the Republic, the Old Republic, the New Republic, and like the original stuff. And then down here, we have more stuff that I'm just trying to offload. This is the last of our sales post from the Great Purge of 2024. And then past that, we've got supplies. Those are Brodart supplies. And then down on the bottom, we have more mailer tubes for sending custom dust jackets out to folks. Shelf. It's moving over here. We have our Infinity Gauntlet. I had a whole video about this, and I don't think hardly anybody watched it. Next is our statue from the Spider-Man 2 limited edition for PlayStation. I don't even have a PlayStation anymore. Our Marvel Comics light box with our Stan Lee statue. And my Mjolnir replica. My brother gave that to me, not this Christmas, but last Christmas or 2 ago. I don't know, but he won Christmas that year. And then our Magneto helmet. Those actually went down, man. They used to be $100, but they're down to $60 now. Now we're gonna get down to the stuff that my favorite shelf, which is my X-Men shelf. It's what got me started. Here's my Deadpool. Moving into Wolverine. A lot of these custom dust jackets you're seeing I've already got full videos on. Some of them you're actually going to get sneak peeks on it that I haven't actually shown yet, so keep an eye. There's our Death of Wolverine. Moving into our X-Force and X-Factor. Alright, we're going to go from there. Moving to our X-Men. Now Roy has done an amazing job getting all of my X-Men books to look beautiful. All of the stuff he does looks great, but if you look, all of these logos are the same height. They're all unison. Everything looks beautiful, and I love it. It's why I do custom dust jackets, and I love it. Now, Omar did just announce an omnibus for these two, which will double dip with this one, but it'll make this an omnibus, and this will all match. It'll look great. End here of our X-Men into Age of Apocalypse. Legion Quest, we're going to get a new DJ to move this up a little bit. I'd love to see him do an omnibus that takes these. I'm not sure why Legion Quest wasn't actually added into this omnibus, but it is what it is. Some more X-Men. More Onslaught, Operation Zero Tolerance, Eva Destruction, all of that stuff. Extreme X-Men. Some of these are out of order. I'm still moving stuff around on my shelves. And this is one of the only shelves that actually has stuff on the bottom shelf. What little Krakoa era I have, I'm kind of waiting for an omnibus, because I know eventually there's going to be a Krakoa omnibus or two. And then there's our Ultimate X-Men. In our animated series adaptations, and then we're just empty again. Let's move on to the DC shelf. Alright, now this shelf is my DC shelf, and this one got culled a lot more than any other, I think. I sold a lot of Marvel, but I sold a lot of DC, and I'm actually considering taking the DC books and moving them over to my third-party shelf, because if you see the third-party shelf, it's packed, and I could use some more room. But DC has a lot of extra space. So we're going to start up here. And there's a couple of those custom dust jackets I was telling you about. We will have a future episode that will feature both of those. And in October we did Hush. We did a couple of Batmans. And then there's our DC versus Marvel. Some great Capullo Snyder custom dust jackets there. Batman and Robin by Tomasi. We have our Gen 13 and our Green Lanterns. Another sneak peek at custom dust jackets there. We're going to have a whole set featured in a later video. Roy does stellar work. There's our Blackest Night, Brightest Day, our Death of Superman, and then we come into other Superman books. I don't have a lot of Superman. I'm not a huge Superman fan. But I loved Super Sons. That book was just fun. I need to do an overview of it, but my overviews aren't great, so I just haven't gotten to it. But I really liked that book. For those of you that haven't read it, it's a fun read. It really is. And these 4 books are probably 4 of my favorite DC books in general that aren't like, Elseworlds kind of thing. But the Justice League New 52 and Injustice. Injustice was definitely a sleeper hit. I did not expect a video game adaptation book to be so good, but it is phenomenal for those that never read it. Things are thinning out here. Dark Crisis, Batman and Robin, Father and Son. I've got my Arkham Saga Omnibus. We move over here to our Deceased Deluxe Edition. I did do a comparison of that during October, and I'm waiting for the Omnibus. That's definitely going to be featured next October. We're going to do a comparison of the originals versus the Deluxe versus the Omnibus, and we'll probably take a look at the Marvel Zombies as well. Batman Spawn, and then here's the actual Deceased books, along with the DC versus Vampires and the Dark Knights of Steel. These are probably my favorite quote-unquote Elseworld style stories, but they were so good. I can't say enough good things about them. Let's get to our third-party shelf. Right, here's our third-party shelf, just under the Doctor Who picture there. These are Space Bastards. I got that from a site directly from spacebastards.com. They were $50 a book. It's like a battle royale with package delivery. It's hard to explain, but it's something that we might actually do a video on. But the art was pretty good and the story looked like something I'd like, so I picked it up. And we got our Berserker. I'm going to do a video soon of the standard versus the deluxe edition there. Oh, and another sneak peek, the Firefly books. Let me see if I can get that glare out of there. Yeah, kinda. It's the Broad arts are making them all shiny, but yeah, we did a complete set of custom dust jackets for the Firefly series. Again, I think that's probably going to be my January or February custom dust jacket video. Keep an eye out for that, True Believers. That is coming soon. And we just did a video on claws. There's our Once and Futures. Something is killing the children. We only find them when they're dead. These are all great. I love Boom Studios slipcase editions. I love them. They just pop. And that Critical Role Vox Machina and The Witcher. Those, I have custom dust jackets coming for The Witcher. There's our Game of Thrones, Lock and Key, Star Trek versus Star Trek Doctor Who. And you all recognize these. This is our IDW collection. I've only got 2 more books to go. We'll have the whole series. Once I have the whole series, I am going to try and partner up with Roy, and I want to do a complete set of custom dust jackets for the entire series. We may do a connecting covers. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I've got some basic thoughts and ideas, but we are going to do a complete set for that. And then, of course, The Last Ronin, Batman TMNT, Ascender Descender. Again, more custom dust jackets. I'll be featuring those soon. Little Monsters, Curse Words, Witchblade, Cyberforce, Fear Agent. And then the Invincible books, still waiting on them to do a reprint for 3 so that those will match, because it drives me insane, but I'd rather have it there than not have anything at all, because we don't know if they're going to actually release one. And then our Spawn Deluxe editions. All right, down here in the last part here, that's a Once and Future slipcase, but I've got some singles in there. But those first 2 are from Mad Cave Studios, and this is Nottingham. It's a darker version of Robin Hood, and it's really good, folks. You can get those hardcovers directly from Mad Cave Studios. They're like $50 a piece, but it's a really good story for any of the adult stuff. Not like adult sex or anything, but definitely adult violence. And here's our Doctor Who 10th Doctor Year 1, 11th Doctor Year 1, and right next to it, 12th Doctor Year 1. And then we have a whole bunch of mini, lot smaller Doctor Who books. And at the very end, we have the Gears of War hardcovers, which if you folks want to see those, I've actually been considering doing a video on the Gears of War series hardcovers, so let me know in the comments below if that's something you might want to see. And then here is the studio desk. Under the desk, we have our studio printer. It's what I print all of my custom dust jackets on. That's a Canon TA20. I got that at Amazon for $1,000, and they had a really great payment plan on it, because there's no way I could have afforded to buy it outright. And below that is my lighting kit. Up here is my cutting board, which I use to trim all my custom dust jackets, along with our festive hat. And then we have our boom bike there. And then we're going to come down here to the PC. This is a custom build that I picked my parts. My brother helped me build it. He basically put everything together for me. That's a 3090 Ti for those of you that know computers, wondering why I'm still using that. EVGA is my all-time favorite graphics card company, and they went out of business, not because they're bad at selling things, but because they're tired of NVIDIA's crap, and they decided to just get out of the market. So I bought the last great card they had, which is the 3090 Ti, and I'm going to rock that until I can't rock it anymore. And then once I'm forced to upgrade, probably the 6000 series, then I'll probably do that. And then here, move the mic out of the way. Here's the computer where I do all of my video editing, all of my gaming, all of my TV watching, all of that stuff. This top monitor is a curved ultra-wide Predator X34, the first ultra-wide monitor I ever got. And this next one is a Predator 27-inch, I believe. But this is the Odyssey G9 Neo. That is I believe it's I want to say 54-inch ultra-wide. And, you know, at first I didn't really dig the ultra-wide, but once I sat down with it and played some games on it, I can never go back. Now, I am working on getting some streaming stuff going, which is why we have the, let me get it up here, the XLR microphone and the Go LXLR mixing board here. I'm really trying to look into streaming either with gaming or even, just doing a show or something, or popping in with some other creators, seeing what we can come up with and doing something new. So we'll see what happens with that. But folks, that is Bad Wolf Comics 2024 End of Year Room Tour. Get a last little spin around the room here. I hope everyone had a fun and safe holiday. And I hope you all had a great time in 2024, and I expect great things in 2025. See you next year, folks. Thanks for watching. And that's our 2024 End of Year Room Tour. I hope you all enjoyed it. Now, I get most of my books from Organic Price Books. For those of you that shop at Organic Price Books, don't forget to use the code BADWOLF during checkout for $2 off your order. And if you just can't get enough and you need a great place to talk comics, come see me at the Bad Wolf Comics Facebook group. I can also be found lurking in the pages of the Omnibuds Cafe. It's a great place to talk to fellow collectors about collected editions. They've also got a great buy and sell section there. I've sold books there. I bought books there. If you just don't want to pay those eBay prices, chances are someone might have a book that you're looking for, they're looking to offload, and they won't take an arm and a leg in the price. Check them out. You won't be sorry. But stick around, true believers. Bad Wolf Comics has more to come next year. As 2024 winds down to a close, I just want to thank everyone for being a true believer in Bad Wolf Comics. I appreciate every one of you, and I can't wait for you to see what we have in store next year. Starting next month in January, we are going to go back to our Friday releases, and we're going to kick off the month with a fresh set of custom dust jackets for the Firefly series. Next year has a lot of great stuff in store. Until then, I am the Bad Wolf. This is Bad Wolf Comics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Ho, 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 ho.